Welcome, welcome, everyone. It is 2024. My name is 𝗪𝗪𝗀, and you are here on Tish Talks Tech. It is our first show in the brand new year, and I have with me the guru of cloud architecture, Emily Jang. Welcome, Emily. I am 100% completely thrilled that you are here. Thank you so much for being with us. How are you doing?
Hi, Leticia. Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I'm doing great. I'm so thrilled to be on your show. Thanks for inviting me. Hi.
Absolutely. I would not have it any other way. We've been talking here for a little bit, and um, let me just say, I am such a fan. So let's just recap. I met you at Tech Exchange, finally. Um, to me, you were like this fairy tale that I had heard about for many years. And I just said, oh, yeah. That's the person that does the Java stuff, builds the stuff, creates the things. And then someone had said, hey, you got to meet this person. And I said, oh, yeah, it's a real person. Okay, yeah. And then I had the pleasure of sitting in on a standing room only talk. One of the weirdest experiences that I've ever, because I said, wait a minute. You go in, I was sitting all the way in the back. Everybody knows how I roll, sitting all the way in the back, and everybody, it was packed, and people were just listening, like glued to what you had to say. And I was blown away. And just watching your slides and just, you were just going at it. And this wasn't even a mainframe thing. You were just in it, just telling everybody the business, and it was amazing. And then we were able to go to the sandbox. This is all in Vegas, y'all. So if you haven't gone to a tech exchange, this is where you want to be. Then I was able to go to sandbox and meet you in person, because like you had a line in queue to meet you in after the talk. So I said, okay, I'm an IBM champion. Of course I'm going to meet this person in person. So so I finally was able to meet you in person, fangirled, and that's okay. And you're the nicest, most genuine, tech savvy, smartest individual that I encountered. Just amazing. And that's me fangirling right now. But awesome individual. And can we just start with your story? Your like real story, because I don't think that people know who you are under the hood and how you actually got to where you are right now. Because if they knew the nitty gritty to all of that, then they would just be blown away. I know it, but they don't know. Do you mind sharing? Let's start. Let me just start. So let's start from the beginning, because the beginning is a good place to start. Tell us about Emily. Where did it all start?
Yeah. So it's actually I can start from when I was very young and how I got into computer science. Actually, at the moment I live in the UK. I have been in the UK for over 20 years. It's kind of but I was born in China, and I was born in a small village. It's a very poor area, so it's basically the countryside. It's not in a big city, not even in a city. So I grew up in a very basically hardship. So in a like a primary school, I went to village school, and apart from going to school, also I look after like a family, also doing a bit of farming work, and look after chickens and rabbits and etc. So it's basically that's the kind of the I'm going. I treat it as going to school is having fun. So it's at least I don't need to do the field work. It's really hard. Like you do like. Especially in summer, you go to field and it's really sweat and really hard. So I basically, when I was young, I feel like, okay, one day, someday I want to go to university. I want to have basically dealing with technologies. I don't feel like I would like work in the field all day long. And then I did really well in school. So basically, it's in a village school. Not many people can go to like a good secondary school, but I did really well in my primary school, and I sat on the exam, and then I got to the best. Basically, the secondary school. Again, the best secondary school is a small, is still a small area, right? It's kind of like a below the county, and then I want to go to the county secondary school. So I sat on the exam. Only probably is 1% of the students can go to that university, go to that senior high school. So I was on the top. So I was very pleased. But once I got to the secondary school, actually, I wasn't basically the top student in that secondary school, because they're all smart people. So I studied really hard, and again, even in the secondary, high school, and only small, very small, tiny proportion people can go to university. That was the 1990s, but not nowadays. Like, and then it's kind of study really hard because I had a dream. So this kind of, I feel like I need to do whatever I can. I want to achieve my dream. So I studied hard, and also it's kind of that I did well, and then I got through the exam, entrance exam. I got to university, and then basically after the exam, you have to choose what kind of areas you want to study, right, in university.
Right.
And then I have not even seen a computer. I do not even know what a computer is about. I only heard a computer is something popular. It's only smart people can deal with it. I said, I'm smart, so I should do computing. So I said, where do I want to do computing? Surely is that I want to go to Shanghai. So Shanghai, probably most people have heard of it, is being modern and being technology focused. I said, if I want to do computing, I want to do it in Shanghai. Also want to do somewhere connected to economics. So that's why I went to one of the best university in Shanghai. Basically, is the finance, Shanghai University of Finance and Economics. It's very popular, and a lot of people from Shanghai is going to set their eyes onto that university, because after graduation, we can go to banking, we can go to a stock exchange, and go to accounting. So this is all kind of the areas, good job, basically gathered about.
Mhm.
And then it's kind of, when I got to Shanghai and basically and entered the university, I just felt, oh gosh, I have not even seen a computer, and then I entered the room and full of computers, and my classmates, they feel like they can just type. I said, oh gosh, I don't even know how to type. And then I entered, I started the lesson about programming. I don't even know how to do the programming, and a lot of, basically, again, they have learned some basic programming. It's a huge, mind blown kind of the exercise, and I felt felt basically from when I was young, and every time I jump through, it's like climb uphill, and I knew nothing about that on that platform. I
Yeah.
learned so much things, and then get to the other platform again. I knew nothing, so I feel like I just jump and dropped, jump and dropped. So it's just continue like that. So again, the what keep me going is you keep learning, and then you have keep your dream, and you will get there.
I love it. I absolutely love it. You get after it, you fall down, get back up. Fall down, get back up. But every time that you get up, you keep going and keep going. And
Yes.
and look at you now. Look at you now. When you told me that, I was sitting and I was just like, how can you just, you have to have some sort of powerful belief in oneself to be able to just do that. A lot of people would have just said, no, you know what? I'm okay. I'll just go back and I'll work my parents' farm, or I'll go back and I'll do whatever it was that I was doing before. But the belief in yourself was so strong that no, that wasn't an option. I'm going to keep going. And I love that. So many people are going to be inspired by that story alone. I can't wait until you write your book and tell folks, just saying, uh, about more details about that particular story, because that's amazing. I want to hear about how you had desks at your school.
Oh yeah, so basically it's the village school. So the village school, it's I think if you talk about nowadays, like a very remote area, and village school, the facilities was very very limited, and so this is reviewed my age. So in the 1980s, so it's basically it's the China, the whole China was really really poor. So again, in the basic cities, the situation was much would be much more better. But in villages, basically, and we had very limited facilities, and some classrooms just have a blank room. So basically, it's just have like a four walls. So is we had to basically make it work. We had to build our desks. So it's I still remember actually happy memories, to be honest. I still remember basically is we went to a kind of the lake, and then we dug up some mud, and also got some basically branches and put it together and built the desk. So basically, I still remember my desk. So it's I got up really early in the morning, and in the next few days I need to make sure, because we want to make sure the surface is smooth. So we don't have much like other things to make a surface smooth. So all we got is broken balls. It's a ceramic. So that broken piece is the kind of that's a treasure for me. So I took that and basically smooth it over, and then when the mud is dry, it's shining. So very shiny surface is really, yeah. And then we brought our own kind of the chairs to school. So basically we built the desk and brought our own stools to school. And we even we didn't have electricity either, and we didn't have any candles, because the candle is expensive as well. So we use the oil. So I don't know, probably nowadays you have seen it. So basically I put some oil in the ink bottle.
Right.
Nowadays we don't use ink either. And then put some cotton thread,
Mm-hmm.
and you just light that up. and to be able to like you do your morning reading and etc. So use that kind of light. We didn't have any electricities when I was kind of the first few years in school. Is a kind of we just use that. It's really, I still remember the time because we try to stop others to steal the oil. You put some water as well. You know,
Hmm.
water is the kind of the water is heavier, will be on the
Right.
bottom. If someone
And the oil floats on the top. Right. Yeah.
it's a quite funny. Yeah, it's a kind of all the now it's at that time maybe felt it's really hard, but now every time I thought about that story and etc., it's really good memories.
It's a good memory. No, I admire it because you did what needed to be done so that you could learn.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like in the winter because in the early morning we had to go in and do the morning recital or the kind of the read the stories and etc. So I remember like we use a torch and walk to school and
Hmm.
also carry our light as well. It's really yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. Wow. It's amazing what we do in this, in what we can recall, um, when we're thinking about this is what I did to get to where I'm at. And and I just hope that if you're watching right now, know that it can be done, right? Like, there's nothing that's stopping you. And this is not something that happened 50 years ago. This was just yesterday. This was like in 95. You know, this is like when we all graduated high school. So don't don't think that this was something that happened so long ago, because we all are this is happening in our time. Let me go over to chat, and we have some folks. We have 𝗧𝗶𝘀𝗵, and he had said, "Hello, ladies. Happy Sunday." Hi, Scott. Nice to see you. And we have Sherry, and Sherry says, "Love listening to Emily at Tech Exchange." We love
I
Sherry. Hi. So, with that being said, all of the struggle, everything that, and we're not even going to call it a struggle, because I don't want to call it that. I mean, this was your path. This is what you did to be who you are now. And I just want to respect, I'm gonna call it the hustle, because you did what you had to do. So with that being said, could you tell us more about being a Java champion, and what what does that even mean for those that
yeah.
don't know?
Yeah, it's a Java champion. So basically, it's reward individuals who has contributed significantly for the Java world. So it's basically you need to be the leader. So it's basically influence and also top contributor towards Java. So for me to become a Java champion, I think is because my contribution in micro profile. So basically, I have been, if you have not heard of micro profile, the micro profile basically established the uh, open source standard for doing cloud native applications. So it's basically if you decided to do any cloud native applications, micro profile is the framework you should basically learn about. So I basically created a few specifications, and also I helped with the other specifications creation. So I have been with microprofile for over 6 years. I think it's basically is was well like open source standard for the like Java EE like development and etc. And also the make the Java EE enterprise application easily to be written and also in a vendor agnostic way. So you don't need to worry about you basically tied with a particular vendors per se. So this is all kind of open standard. This is kind of standard you got to learn. And then once you use these APIs, your application is free to move around. If one day you basically want to use, for example, 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗀. So this is a run basically open source project. I've been heavily involved. So they provide implementations for microprofile, and there's among others as well. So it's basically we at IBM we strongly believe the open source, and also we want to provide kind of the open standard for our customers. Don't feel they have to go with the kind of the one kind of vendor. So we don't want to do the vendor lock-in. So it's because of my contribution in the open source, and also I author blogs and etc. And I speak at many conferences to basically to teach about microprofile. So that's why I was very lucky to get nominated and become a Java champion. So it's the Java champion. So basically it's a small community. So it's a respectable community. So,
it's royalty.
Yeah, it's the passionate individuals work together to move the technical knowledge forward. So that's the whole thing about Java champion.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And the work that you do, it's like, first of all, you're at 𝗏𝗪𝗀, and that's no small thing. And the work that you do allows for people to work together.
Yes.
And IBM is huge on collaborative environments. And the work you do is just amazing. And you are enabling people to be able to be mission first while working together. How were you, what's the how do I ask this? How did you even come up with the thought process to be able to do something like that? Like, do you wake up one day and say, you know what, let's just make this thing? Or is it just you and a team? How does that happen?
Yeah, very good question. Actually, it's kind of this kind of the roadmap. Is a roadmap per se. Is it has to have a root. Where's the root? It's not like I wake up one day, oh, I fancy to do this. I need to have a reason. So basically, it's I work very closely with the customers, and also I speak at conferences. Is speaking at a conference a great way to interlock with others, with the consumers, and talk on the corridor talk, and people say, oh, I got this issue, and I haven't found a solution for that. So all these kind of ideas originated from the conversations, and also customers basically pinpoint. So it's we have to invent technology to solve some problems. We shouldn't invent problems for a technology to resolve. So it's basically kind of okay. For example, the one of the spec is called microprofile fault tolerance. So fault tolerance basically is enable you to create a resilient microservice. You think about like nothing is kind of 100% reliable, right? You wake up one day, maybe there's like some service is not working, but you need to make sure you should develop your application no matter what. You should serve a proper response to your customer. Is if you rely on somebody else and you can't really see your customer, oh, I'm sorry, it's because somebody else is not functioning. It's not my business. Surely your customer, they pay you, and
like not my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no matter what, you must supply a reasonable response to your customer. It's like in the back in the many years ago, you will see, okay, banking, right? Banking and maintenance mode. You can't really do much. But nowadays, have you seen it? It's pretty much like business as usual. You have to deal with it. You have to have this kind of, at first, you think about this is your problem, and then you will take a full control. So this is a micro fault tolerance. Basically, one thing is make you realize it's your problem, right? You need to define a develop application need to function 24/7. Obviously, you rely on somebody else, but you need to take into consideration if that person is not functioning, it's your problem, right? It's your problem. So basically, this is the kind of specification. Make sure provide that kind of solution to fulfill the requirement. You have 100% responsibility to make sure your customers' need is met. So this is one thing, one example of it.
I love that. I love that. And your passion shines through, by the way, and it's so infectious. Now I feel like I can go out and I can tell everybody. That is so cool. Tell me this, and I want to make sure I'm marking off 𝗪𝗵ឆ''.
Yeah.
A lot of folks look over it, and I think that they're doing themselves a disservice. Okay. That's just my humble opinion. Can you speak on or give us a high level overview just in case folks don't understand what it actually is? Can you tell our viewers who are new to tech what 𝗪𝗪ឆ'' actually is, please?
Yeah. So 𝗪𝗪ឆ' is kind of back in probably before 20 years. It's a very, very big name. And even nowadays, a big name. And in the past, 𝗪𝗪ឆ' application server, a lot of people probably have heard it. It's basically a monolith application server. It has everything, but it is most like it take a time to start warm up. Once it start, it's really, really, really good. So this is a kind of 𝗪𝗪ឆ'. It's basically it's a bigger machine. Is almost like a bigger machine. Can do so many like things. However, nowadays, previously almost like I know it's if you know Chinese history. In the past, huge family, they can know 4 generations live together. Nowadays, only like three people is living in one family. So this is the kind of thing. They don't need that huge, basically functionalities. They only need a portion of it. They didn't have time to basically to wait for the bigger 𝗪𝗪ឆ' to basically start and functioning and etc. So it's in the modern days, you need something smaller. So this is like a few years ago, is Liberty was born. So Liberty is the new future of 𝗪𝗪ឆ'. So Liberty is very composable. It's not like a big building, almost like. So Liberty, it has carried a lot of bricks, a lot of units like Legos. And you can tell Liberty, hey, I just need one room. It will just give you enough bricks to get that one room in. If you have 2 rooms, and just give you the enough like rent time to just to build that 2 rooms. So this is the Liberty. So basically, 𝗪𝗪ឆ' application server is, we call it a traditional 𝗪𝗪ឆ', and the Liberty is the future. So in Liberty, there's Open Liberty and also 𝗪𝗪ឆ' Liberty. Open Liberty is open source. So you can go to openliberty.io to get everything. And also you can get a support for Open Liberty. For 𝗪𝗪ឆ' Liberty, it get all the Open Liberty code and plus some collective feature, basically trying to do 𝗪𝗪ឆ' ND network deployment, and also some legacy features. So that's pretty much a WebSphere liberty. So it's all the kind of new things is in open liberty, and then at the same time we built a WebSphere liberty. So this is the kind of the WebSphere brand is great. It's great. You know how IBM doing business? IBM, I think, is the kind of the probably that's why I've been staying with IBM. So the service is second to none. It's really, really basically we spend so much time to test every single thing and etc. etc. It's really, really a bulletproof for the technology, etc. Also, my another is a passion is because also is I spend so much time on the open source and stay closely with the community and meet the customer and the developers need, etc. I just think about new things actually from the developer's background, because I'm a developer. I say, okay, this is not good enough. I don't feel I can use it. So I don't really want this to be released. So it's basically everything you do is basically to think about your customers, your users.
And you feel what needs to be not necessarily upgraded, but tuned, or what needs to flow a little bit faster,
trained or something like that.
Trained, yeah. I like that. And thank you for the explanation, because I think that a lot of folks just don't get it, but it's there. It's right there for us to see in plain sight. And I love that explanation. Thank you for that. And there was one more thing. So on your picture, you have the microfile, M, and you're doing the. I love that. Where did that art concept come from?
Yeah, this is really good. And okay, so this is really, really like a good, nice story. Actually, it's because I do a lot of conference talks, and also I visit some Java user groups, and 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗀 invited me to do a couple of talks in Dublin. So I was there, turn up with one evening. I can share a very funny story as well.
Oh, please do.
Afterwards. So I turned up, and it's an evening. So I did a 2-hour talk. I did 2 sessions, and a session, and then have a break, pizza, and etc. And then I did another session. And then at the end, 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗀 gave me, this is a present. They got the local artist to do the design for me. Yeah, I was really, really impressed. I still have that poster, and then I took that. Basically, they knew what I have been doing and contributing. So it's a really nice design. And I didn't involve a single thing about the design at all. So I was overwhelmed when I received this present. Yeah. So that's the kind of thank you, 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗀, if you listen to this or watch this, and I appreciate the poster very much. And then one story I'm going to share is I don't know if you haven't been to Dublin, and I invite you to visit Dublin one day, because I think it's after the talk is must be after 10. I think I said I think Barry at that time. Yeah, Barry. I said, Barry, oh, I don't feel comfortable walk from this kind of location to my hotel, and he said, oh, it should be fine. But anyway, I will walk with you. Actually, after I came out, I felt I was foolish to say that, because the street was ever so busy. Like during the daytime, you didn't see much people. Like in the nighttime, oh gosh, basically so many pubs, and in front of the pub, huge people, the crowd gather around and they talk and said, literally the street was full of people. So,
Wow.
yeah, that's
Wow.
you have probably have heard of the Irish pubs, right?
Right. No, I've heard it was like always bustling with people, but I didn't know that it was so true. And I have a friend that says, you have to come over here. You have to come over here. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
you should go there one day. You feel like
Absolutely.
in the evening and much busier than during the day. Oh gosh, it's a kind of you feel like that's daylight. So
Right. Right. Everybody's relaxing and having fun. Why not?
yeah, so cool.
That sounds
Yeah,
like an amazing time. Well, the artists did a fantastic job, and kudos to them. I absolutely love that art because I like orange and all of those different colors. And when I was doing your media asset, I was looking and I did the Doppler and I said, "Oh, that's a beautiful color. Oh, this is really nice." It's just adorable.
oh,
So,
thank you. I will pass
yeah.
it
Yeah,
on.
if they're watching, high
Yeah,
fives all around. I
yeah.
just love it. And so I want to know, what priceless gems of wisdom can you drop, just like in your media asset with all of the gems that you're dropping, all of the purple and the blue and all that. That was fun. What gems can you drop for us? What advice of sorts can you give to those that are just starting out and they're looking to really begin? Because I think where a lot of folks are inhibited is that they don't know that they should just go ahead and just do it, right? What would you say to those people?
Yeah, it's the first. I think you need to discover what do you really want to be, right?
Mm,
So it's if you want to be in the IT, you need to make sure actually there's nothing constant. One thing is constant is a change. You have to embrace the change. You need to willing to learn. I learn every day. I learn new things. So it's basically the one thing is all the basically the old things still facilitates you to grasp new technologies. So you have to set your heart basically to embrace new things. Otherwise, probably you will be lagged behind. So so this is the one thing. The other thing is that basically once you set your heart, I mean, what you want to do, and also you set a goal, right? So what do
mhm,
you one day what do you want to become, and etc. So and then you keep on evaluate whether you're closer to your goal. What you are doing is kind of is contribute to your goal. So this is the second thing, set up a goal. The third thing is very important, get yourself some mentors, right? It's
mm,
very, very, very important. And especially for women in tech. And, it's not many, especially in like Western, not many women in tech.
mhm,
And there's different thinking and etc. I highly recommend if you're a woman, at least get a few female mentors to help you to facilitate you and things help achieve the goal together with you. And also is at some conferences and etc. And also quite often I go to 𝗪𝗪𝟐 is one of the American is in Atlanta like a conference, and I have been to the Women in Tech breakfast show. Basically, I'm have been on the stage to share my basically career like advice and help other women how to succeed in tech. So it's one thing is kind of we I put things like set up your goal and get a mentor. The other thing, evaluate your mentor. Make sure, I mean, basically, your mentor help you to achieve your goal. You make sure you don't have a limit. Don't let other people set a glass floor for you. If something that, oh, that's good enough, you don't you should relax and etc. And why you trying so hard and etc. At that time, maybe you need to re-evaluate and maybe get another mentor. So basically, the further you climb, maybe you have to get like a level up mentors to help you to go to the other level. So basically, it's not like today your mentor helping you. Tomorrow, maybe that mentor is hundreds for you. So maybe you need to get a different mentor to like help you to achieve your next goal. So this is a very kind of the things. Once you set up a goal, you don't feel hard work and etc. is a suffer, right? So it's it's kind of you are closer to your goal. So this is kind of the things that I've been using myself and also would
Mm-hmm.
like to share with others.
I love what you just said. And if people are really listening, what you just said is worth its weight in gold, because especially the mentoring part, because it's nothing personal. You know, if your mentor is there and you have gone and you have risen to that portion, a good mentor is going to say, it's time for you to it's time for me to introduce you to your next mentor. That's what a good mentor is going to do,
Yes.
right? A bad mentor is going to take it personal that you are now ready to go to the next step. But somebody that's in your corner is going to be ready to elevate. I love that you bring that to our attention. Also, don't let somebody else's experience or a level of success for you dictate what your level of success is. That's huge. That's
Yeah.
huge, because somebody else, we could have more Emily Jane. Can you imagine if Emily Jane #2 comes up now? Emily Jane #3 comes up now. Emily
Yeah.
Jane #4, just from hearing what you said today. I just there's fire in this webcast, and it's coming through hot. You have dropped some gems that I don't think that a lot of folks are expecting. And if they're really listening, they are getting it. Um, Tell me about conferences. How do you, or how would we, as people that are new to the industry, how do we know which conferences are good to go to? Like, how do you pick them? Do you just randomly say, okay, I'm going to go to that conference, or I'll go to this conference? Because you're at it seems like you're everywhere, but that's kind of like your thing by now.
So it's a very good question. Very good question.
Mhm.
So it's in the very beginning, I just head down to do all the coding and develop things.
Right.
And then one day I woke up and then I thought, okay, I'm basically busy at my desk developing all this. If I do not go out to talk about it, who will know? Who knows how to use it, right? So
Wow.
so it's
Yeah.
I started from the local conference first, basically in the country. So basically, I live in the UK. So I went to I got myself basically to the 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝘀 UK in London. So started talking about and there, like I share the story because I created the specification, and I knew is all the inside, etc. I interlocked with people and connected with people and share my stories, and basically exchange all different ideas. And then it's basically it's difficult to get started. Once you get started, and your network grows, your network grows, and then oh, why don't you go to the other conference? And it's kind of some other people. I think it's then it's at 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪. Oh, why don't you come to speak at 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪? And basically it's and then it's a 𝗧𝗹𝗀𝗀. As our time still have a 𝗧𝗹𝗀𝗀. And then is kind of some new conferences all created, etc. So it's once you get your name known there, and then people will just basically reach out to you and invite you to do the talk. So it's sometimes I have to say no because I couldn't like travel all the time to do the talks. So
Right.
so that's the kind of the thing. Also, basically you share like the your talks, and also is you need to talk in a very clear and educative way, and also is kind of the once your name was there, is kind of the things won't stop. Is the conferences. And last year was in India at a global developer summit. Hopefully, I will go there again this year. So basically, once you go there one time, if you do a good job, and then they say, "Oh yeah, you should come back again and to the talk." And also, I speak at basically it's Jackson London for many years. Yeah, I'm also in like a program committee, a couple conferences, and Jackson London and GCon. Yeah, help with like all the conference submission, like ratings and etc. etc. Yeah, so that's the kind of the thing how to get started. And also, if you are also basically, so for the listeners, English is not your first language like yourself, don't feel like, okay, oh my God, I can't even master English. How could I speak at conferences? Actually, a lot of speakers, good speakers, they do not speak like a BBC English, right? So
Right.
you are not recruited to broadcast BBC news. And I think it's in the very early days, and
Mhm.
then people is questioning, and is it somebody else is can speak better English? Should do the presentation?
No.
About like attendees, are they going there to assess your English level or assess your technical level, right? Are you
That's
going there
right.
to, if you want to listen to BBC News, turn on your radio then. So it's so as long as you can explain the topics well, English is secondary. So
Yeah,
don't feel you don't use this as an excuse, right?
that's right.
It's basically there's people don't rate you based on how well your English is. They
That's
rate
right.
you about is it really you explain the technology well, or the technology is interesting or not.
That's right. I try to encourage people to step out of the box, and I let them know people do not want to, they want to know what you know, but they want to know even more if you care. And if
Yeah,
you care enough to teach somebody, that will help you way more than what you're worried about. And you just explained that precisely,
yeah.
in the most definitive way, so eloquently.
You
If
want to
they
show your passion, right? You can be
exactly,
like, okay, I read along, and without any expression, you probably you fall asleep, right? You won't be able to learn much. So it's
exactly
kind of, yeah. So this is the kind of the things.
the same thing. And Emily, you are so busy. You're so busy. I don't know how you even balance everything, family and work and hobbies. So tell me, what is the secret? Because even I, being a busy person, but I'm not as busy as you are, but how do you do it? What is the secret?
So this is the things basically my hobby. Was it my hobby? Actually, I do running a lot. Like at the conferences and etc. Is the first thing go to my suitcase, also my running gears.
Oh, I
So
see.
so this is something also is because I kind of work in the IBM University lab. It's very
Mm-hmm.
fortunate, and also during lunchtime I go for a run as well. So I try to run probably 10K, like 4 to 5 times a week. So it's
Okay.
I do yeah, I do running. So I use this basically and declutter myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
did a lot of thinking and listened to a lot of podcasts, basically during lockdown. And at that time, I just exercise on my own. I ran and also get me away from my desk. So this is basically you need to make sure look after your mental health as well. So
Yes.
so in the morning I'm really really busy, and then I go out for a run, and then it's I think things through, and also basically de-stress as well. I did basically if there's a very difficult kind of technical thing issues and etc., and I just go for a run. And I still remember a few years ago, this really difficult situation, and because I picked up an area nobody else knows, and the person knew left, and then so many people came to me. I took over, but I only have 1 week knowledge, and people came over to me and asked me questions. And I thought, okay, I need to go for a run.
I'll be right back.
I come back, I might have a solution for you. Indeed. I basically I ran and thought this is it's people said a lot of times they got ideas while they took a shower. Why? Because there's so no other interruptions and etc.
Yeah.
I did a lot of my design and the thinking, deep thinking, also is a kind of constructive thinking
Yeah.
when I did my run. So it's I did a lot basically architecture, high level design, and also solve a lot of difficult issues during my run. And if I had really difficult issues, I intend to run with myself on myself. Uh, some other time I try to run with my colleagues. Basically, have a chit chat during the run, etc. Is also relaxation. So this is how I manage the things, and also look after my mental health and keep fit, and also is kind of do some different balances.
I love it. I love it. I just go run. That's great. I love that. And it gets you away from the desk. I think that
Yes,
that is the best thing. Some people will walk at their desk. And I'm just like, no, you got to walk away. You got
yeah,
to
yeah,
get out of the
yeah,
environment ever so often. It has to happen.
yeah.
So let me ask you this. Do you what's your favorite food and do you cook?
Yeah, I cook. I have a family to look after. I cook most of the days. Yeah, a lot of times. I still basically I grew up in China. I still basically enjoy Chinese food. I cook. I pretty much cook most of the time is Chinese food, stir fry, vegetables, meat, and etc. And also I do dumplings. It's Chinese New Year soon. So I need to make
Very
it up.
true. Very true.
Yeah, I, I don't cook much about British food, but I think I can make a lasagna and etc. But I spend most of the time just cooking Chinese food. It's quicker and just simpler and stir fry and so quick. Yeah, and it's fresh. I just like when I go to, I use cooking as my relaxation as well, because it's during cooking is so relax and
Yeah.
relaxing. Yeah.
Yeah. I like to cook as well. A lot.
Yeah, I love it, and so that's why it's kind of in the kitchen. I just immerse myself,
Yeah.
and also think some other things as well. And sometimes I listen to podcast and think other things and cooking, make dinner for the family. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then last thing, what which podcasts do you like? If you want to tell us, you can say I'm not going to tell you. But which ones are you listening to so that we can be just like you, Emily?
Yeah, this is funny. Yeah, so it's I listen to YouTube a bit. Yeah, it's also is YouTube. You watch it, but most of the time I listen. So it's I don't have any particular channel I follow. But I listen like opera show. I don't know. It's a kind of she teach about opera.
You like opera?
Yeah, opera show.
Are you
And
serious?
yeah. So it's
Me too.
yeah. So I think
Oh wow.
she's a great the person. I think she grew up really in the hardship and etc. And look at her,
Yeah.
and also it's basically it's the kind of this is something teach you to be strong and have a dream and etc. I also listen to a lot of other for the technology and etc. I just watch what's the new change and for the cloud and AI and etc. etc. So it's yeah. So I don't. I just search YouTube for the area I want to know more about. I just
Yeah.
listen during running and etc.
Right.
And also, I listen to a lot of Chinese philosophers like 孔子, 孟子, and a lot of philosophers. I think can learn a lot of wisdom from them. So this is kind of I'm basically trying to learn some philosophies and also learn some other technologies and etc. Yeah.
So technology, Oprah Winfrey, and um, Chinese
Chinese
philosophers.
philosophers, philosophers, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
And cooking.
and cooking.
I love it. I love it. Emily, we've been on the phone for a long time, and we didn't go over our time, but we have been on the phone for a long time. Again, thank you for sharing yourself, and tell your family thank you for sharing you with us. There's going to be like so many people that are going to be touched just by this story alone. And again, how do I say it? Where you started versus where you are now is a fairy tale. Like, it's amazing. And we are just so inspired and motivated by your story, and glued to everything that you do. When is the next time that you're speaking, and where can we see you?
Hopefully I'll be at 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗀 in April.
In Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta. And I also go to a few other conferences as well.
Right.
So
Right.
hopefully also I will go to India and also some other European in Germany is the JCon Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Mhm.
with a few more.
Now,
So
will you be at Tech?
yeah,
I'm sorry.
hopefully tech exchange as well. Yeah.
So I get
Yeah.
to see you again.
To see you again. This
Yeah,
year's exchange. I try to go there again. Yes. That's
that
on my top of my list.
yeah, that would be just awesome. And to hear you speak again and to hear more, um just because like I said, the last time you were there, standing room only, people were glued. They were like, move, move. It was really cool just to see. So thank you again, Emily, for coming on the show and for inspiring us. Woman in tech, and not just a woman, just a person that has taken over the entire scene and blew it up. Like there's nothing that you can't do. So we appreciate you so much. Thank you for sharing. And we will see you all again. If you don't know, now you know. You know about Liberty, you know about 𝗪𝗪𝘀𝘀, you know about being a Java champion, you know about the 𝗧𝗹𝗪𝗪 labs in the UK. You know that you can do anything and you can do it even better if you put your mind to it. You guys, Emily Jang is hello, the the zenith, the pinnacle, the top of the mountain, if you will, of everything that we all want to be. She is the clouds architect, like the architect of architects. And if you have ever said, oh, I could never do that, if you were listening in the beginning, this is the person that actually in primary school built a desk from mud and sticks so that she could learn because she wanted to learn that bad, right? And now she's building entire virtual universes. So let that sink in. Let that sink in for a half a minute and just ponder on it. And if that does not motivate you, I do not know what will. I don't know what will. Um, you can follow Emily on LinkedIn. Is that okay, Emily?
Yeah, LinkedIn or X.
Or X? Yep, yep. And again, thank you so much for joining, and we'll be back again. So we will talk to you later. Thanks for joining us here on Tish Talks Tech.
Thank you, Natasha.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for
Emily.
having me. Yeah, thanks.
I
Bye.
appreciate you so much. Bye bye now.
Bye.